Hi, Claude Bill here with 24/7 Online Marketing again, and I am coming here to you today. I want to share with you what I learned from a podcast this morning when I was driving into the office. It was a podcast, a leadership podcast, and it deals with leadership, obviously. But it's from a guy named Tim Kight, and also co-hosting with him, Tim Kight is Coach Urban Meyer. Their very first episode today, which they released, where both of them are teaching about leadership. Tim Knight is an expert. Tim Kight, is an expert in leadership. The podcast is called Focus 3. You can download it anywhere. I'm not affiliated. I'm not getting any kickbacks from it, but it's a pretty cool podcast. I'm a big OSU fan, so I'm a big Urban Meyer fan. So I definitely listen to this. And Urban Meyer being an excellent leader, I should say, being an elite leader, and they're really talking about leadership and how to be elite, right? And Urban Meyer is striving to be an elite coach in NCAA collegiate football level. And Tim Kight, he strives to just produce leaders everywhere, anywhere from, athletes to corporations to businesses, that type of thing, to politicians, whatever it may be, just strong leaders. Everyone wants to be a strong leader. So I definitely recommend you listen to it, and then we can kind of kick back every now and then on chat or whatnot and just talk about what we learned together. But anyway, so what I learned today from this podcast, really to be elite, right? I mean, there's a lot of things they talk about, and the one thing I took away that just really stood out for me. I think it's really going to help you out, especially if you guys are in a situation where you don't feel as if you have enough leads, right? You're not getting enough leads to your business, so you're saying to yourself, I don't have enough leads, so I can't get enough sales, so I can't make any money, right? So there's that kind of downward spiral. So the bottom line is if you don't have enough leads, and in most every business, doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, if you're in real estate, if you're in dentist, you're a doctor, if you're a barber, if you're if you're a restaurant owner, you're a car dealership, it doesn't really matter. Any business out there needs leads. And so if you don't have leads, you're not getting in front of your people, your ideal customer, you're not getting leads, right? And so you need to get in front of your ideal customers. But what I realized is that the same thing in leadership, all great, I'm going to stop using the word great because, in the podcast, basically it's elite. Urban Meyer uses the word elite. If you want to strive to be elite, you have to have a solid system that you follow and you go to work with. So I'm going to say that again. So it's basically about having a system and you go to work. You work the system, okay? You have a system that works and then you go work it. The reason why a lot of us get an education because it's a system that teaches something, and that system is what we have to apply, right? It's taking the system and applying the system. Right, that's exactly what it is. And so typically if you're having a breakdown in getting leads or getting results that you want, let's keep it simple. Let's talk about losing weight. I mean, the system to lose weight is not rocket science, right? It's pretty much burn more calories than you take in if you want to lose weight, right? Now you can do this different type of ways, different systems you can do that, but this main system to lose weight is to burn more calories than you take in. Now, if you don't want to be athletic, then it means you got to eat a lot less, and you go on a strict diet, right, where you're just eating salads and lettuce all the time. That's just stuff that does not have a lot of calories if you don't want to work out. But if you like to eat, guess what you have to do? You have to go work out. You got to put 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour in the gym of cardiovascular stuff to burn off those calories. And then guess what? You can't put those calories back on once you burn them off. So, I mean, there's basically two ways to lose, the one way to lose weight, the system to lose weight has to include burning more calories than you intake, right? So that's the system. Now, you know the system, I know the system, but do we implement the system? Do we follow the system? What keeps us from following the system? What makes great leaders? Great leaders will have the discipline, the mindset, they use also in this podcast, the mental toughness, and I'm just giving you highlights because you need to listen to the podcast yourself, right? So you got to have the mental toughness, the discipline to follow the system. And the things you have to go through to follow the system is what makes you elite. That's why LeBron James is one of the best basketball players in the world. That's why Michael Jordan was one of the best basketball players in the world, right? That's why the elite athletes, they have a consistent, I just listened to another podcast actually, a recruit that's coming to Ohio State in the year of 2020. His father was on the podcast talking about how he was trying to implement some things to his son to have a good work ethic. And one of the things that he wanted to implement in his son was consistency. being consistent, waking up every morning and going to work out. Right? Be consistent in what you do. Be consistent at striving to be elite. And that means you have to be consistent and disciplined. Now, our emotions are going to take us away from our discipline. We're going to have different feelings. And you have to be able to have self-evaluation and self-awareness to realize those emotions or things are going to be taking you away. So you have to evaluate an emotion, because you can get angry, it's going to make you want to fight, but it might not be the right thing to do. You can get sad, it's going to make you want to stand still. You can get happy and energetic, it's going to make you want to do some things to get things done, right? And so or you're going to be extremely, you're going to be afraid, which is going to make you run away, right? So a lot of times when there's something new for us to implement, a new system that we know was probably going to work, and we tried it, but we don't implement it fully, it's because we're afraid. And when we're afraid, that makes us walk away. Walk away from the system. And then when you walk away from the system, you make excuses in your head, and you listen to your head, you listen to yourself, your inner self is not doing you any good, it's telling you, walk away from the system, because you're afraid, and you don't want to do anything you're afraid of. So you're going to walk away and say it doesn't work, and you're going to blame the person that sold you the system, said it doesn't work, but you never really tried it because you were afraid, right? So that's what happens. It happens to me. Okay, I get afraid to do new things, but you have to correct yourself and self-evaluate and say, why am I afraid? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of not doing better? Because if I'm afraid of not doing better, then I need to change that mindset. What happens? What would happen if I actually did better? What actually happened if I were to try this? The worst thing I can do that I can try a system to the T and follow it consistently. Follow it for a period of time. Continue to follow it. If I do that, what's the worst thing that could happen? I'm in the same position I'm in right now with no leads, no business. But if I do it, what will happen? If I do it, what's going to happen? Man, I might actually get leads. I might actually start making some money in my business. I might actually make enough money in my business I can actually take vacations. I might actually make enough money that I can pay off all the loans I just took out, to start this business. I might actually make enough money that I can hire more people so that I can step away from the business for a long period of time, and have it run on autopilot. I might actually start making enough leads so I can actually get more money so I can actually grow the business and have more salary. I can start a franchise, So what would happen? So you have to be able to self-evaluate and understand what emotion you're going through, and you have to adjust that emotion. And remember, take that emotion and turn it back into something. So don't be afraid. If you're afraid, turn that in. Find a way to find yourself to be energetic. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to pause here. But I just want to leave you with this one thing. Hope you guys like this or not. I'm not sure if anybody's actually on here listening to me. All right, but it doesn't look like it. Oh well, doesn't matter. Hopefully you guys check this out later. I'm going to leave it up here for replay. But if you actually, one thing I want you to take away from this is to remember, it's all about the system. The system. Take the system, and then you go to work. Learn the system and put the system to work. So you got system, and then you got to go to work. Go to work. That's what they say in the podcast. Not my phrase. I might say something. Take the system and implement. Take the system and execute. Take the system and execute, and then you go back and you evaluate. See if you actually executed the system right. Because you might say, I don't implement the system. I implement the system, but you might have missed a small step. So you need to always evaluate, right? So I would actually add something like that. I don't want to just mess up the whole thing, right? I'm not taking any credit for this, but take the system, implement the system, evaluate, self-evaluate to make sure you actually implement the system right, especially if you're not getting the results you want, right? Because if they already have a system, they already proven that it works, then you know the system works. So if you're implementing it, that means you must be doing something wrong to implement it, right? And so then if you can't figure it out, you need to get help. You need to get help. That's why there's experts out there to help you go to work on the system, right? I have a system. I have a system that I use to get clients leads, right? It's a very simple system that I use. It's called Oracle Positioning. I'll write this down for you. Sorry, my marker's getting dry. Oracle Positioning. This is my system. This is my marketing system that I put together to get clients leads. And it's basically two phases of the system. One, we call it omnipresence. Omnipresence is nothing more than positioning you everywhere your ideal client is looking for a business like yours. Okay, that's what it does. Everywhere on the internet, you will be positioned where your ideal customer or your client is looking for a business like yours, right? So there's Google, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Pinterest, there's Yelp, there's Foursquare, there's so many more. There's Apple Maps, there's Google Maps. There's a bunch of out there. That's the first step, is omnipresence, right? And if you want to learn more about the first step of omnipresence, just go to 7stepseo.com. 7stepseo.com. That's what the number 7. Okay, you go there, you get access to some checklists and training. If you're not getting enough leads, I'll give you complete checklist and training. It's totally free. All you need to do is provide me with your name, your email address, and if you want to, your website. If you provide me with your website information, I actually will go and evaluate your website, your business for you, and send your email for free. No, don't even worry about it, right? Because I want to help you. I want to help you. I enjoy marketing. I enjoy implementing my system. I enjoy implementing my system and helping people get what their desired results in business. Okay, so the second phase of this is called empower. My marker is drying. I gotta go buy some new markers. Sorry. Empower. You gotta empower. The second phase is about empowering. What empowering means is you're going to empower your potential client. You're going to give them information that's going to help them make a right decision about who they should do business with, right? If you're a restaurant, someone's hungry, they're looking for a burger restaurant, and there's maybe 5 burger restaurants in the area, and they see you guys listed on Google, you got to empower them. Why will they choose you over your competition? And it's not always about price. Not because you're the lowest priced burger out there, right? And if that's what they want, then that's what it is. But what's about what you want to empower them about? You want to empower them to make the right decision. And ideally, here's the way to look at it. You want to provide content that's going to empower your potential client, your potential ideal client, and you know what your ideal client looks like. If you don't, that's the first you got to make sure you know, and we'll talk about that at another time. But you're going to empower your ideal client with the information they need that's going to guide them through the decision-making process. We're talking about a restaurant here for right now. Through the decision-making process of what is best for them to eat. And at the end of that decision-making process, you're going to basically leave them with the ultimate conclusion that they would be an absolute fool to go to a different restaurant than your restaurant. Or if you're a dentist, to go to a different dentist. Or if you're a dealership, to go to a different dealership. Or, if you're a doctor, to go to a different doctor. That type of thing, right? If you're a private school, to go to a different private school. Right? Exactly. So if you're a realtor, to go to a different realtor. Okay? So you're going to empower them. You're going to give them this. You're going to give them enough. You're going to give them information. It's the information age. You need to give people information, right? And I talk about this. This is a whole org positioning system. Now, let me get this right. You can implement just half this system right here. I got clients right now, a barbershop client. All I do is implement this. This right here is very simple, very small part, right? But it's mostly all of this right here. This omnipresence. That's it. Go over this. You can learn about it at 7stepseo.com. That's the first step. Check it out. I don't want to make this video too long. Hopefully this helped you. But just remember, if you're not getting enough leads and you want to be elite, you want to be elite in your business, you want to be elite leader, you want to be an elite CEO, you want to be elite businessman, you want to be elite corporation, you want to be athlete, whatever you want to be elite in, you want to be fit, the most fittest person I ever seen, right? You got to know the system, get the system, implement the system, and then I don't have it up, I should put up here, evaluate, self-evaluate. Self-evaluate, make sure you implement the system right. If you're not getting results you want, if you're not, go get help. Go get help. Find somebody to help you implement the system that's already done before. Okay? So go check this out, 7stepseo.com. This is the first phase. If you're not getting enough leads, I think you'll like it. It's free. Like I said, it's your name, your email address is only required. If you want to put your website address in there, you can. I'll take a look at it. That gives me the cue that you want me to take a look at it, and we'll go from there. But you can also go through the videos that's in there. There's basically a whole module, a mini course that shows you how to go through this process here, how to check to make sure you are pretty much positioned everywhere. And if you're not, it kind of gives you some hints of how to do it, okay? And then in that portal, if you want to get in contact with me, I'll give you my email address in there, and you can contact me through email, by Facebook, by Twitter. All right, Thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I enjoyed the podcast. Go check it out. It's called Focus 3. It's a good leadership podcast. I'll subscribe to it. I download it on Apple iTunes. So I listen to it every time it pops up. Great podcast. Hopefully this information is helpful for you. Remember this Oracle position. This is the system that I implement to get my private consulting clients leads. All right. Thank you. Take care. I'm saying it for my final time. God bless you. Have a blessed night. Bye now. Hi, Claude Bill here with 24/7 Online Marketing again, and I am coming here to you today. I want to share with you what I've learned from a podcast this morning when I was driving into the office. I was a podcast, leadership podcast, and it. Switch.